Hey guys, welcome to Late Night on Base. I'm your host, Bill the Bull. Today's episode is brought to you by BTFD, a meme coin on base with a simple premise. Buy low, sell high. When the market shows you a giant red candle, don't be alarmed, don't be scared. Buy the effing dip. Today's show, we have none other than Chaos Kris. I'm excited for this episode. Hope you guys find the discussion really interesting. We could dive into a lot of topics, numerology, astrology, his favorite projects on base, and just about everything he's done in the space and what excites him, what motivates him, and some of the projects he likes on the base ecosystem. Stay tuned and check it out. All right, everyone. It's Kris from The Verse, the CEO of The Verse. Kris, how you doing, man? Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited. Late night on base. Let's go, baby. How are you doing today, man?
Dude, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's awesome to have you on. Me and you've gotten to know each other for since last year, actually. And we come from the Pulse chain world, and not necessarily the OG Pulse, but like when they created their ecosystem, PDI in particular, it's a stable coin pegged to a dollar. We're gonna expect it to peg to a dollar, so we kind of got to know each other there. And yeah, man, it's exciting to have you on now that we're starting this whole podcast on base. It's important for me to not only introduce the projects that are building on base, but also, the personalities that make our space, the personalities that can help bring light into it. And so I have a lot of respect for you, not only as a analyst on different projects and what you do on with the verse and your live streams, but also I just find you fascinating, man. If any of you guys are interested in numerology, astrology, we'll touch into that. That's stuff I really like as well. So we'll go into that. So Kris, for those that may not be, familiar about you and what you're about, why don't you give them a brief intro?
What's up, guys? As Bill the Bull mentioned, I'm Kris from the Verse. We do a lot of stuff with getting into crypto projects, breaking down what's going on with each project. We do technical analysis, and we also work with other projects so that we can describe really complex issues in a very simplistic manner. So basically our main goal is to educate the space and get into the stuff and make it easier for your mom, your grandma, and your friends to get in. Now, when I first got into cryptocurrency, it was a crazy story. It was 2019, the year of the pig. I was born in the year of the pig, gets into numerology and astrology. And this one project popped up to me. The name of that project is Hex, founded on December 2nd, 2019. And it was the first project I went into. I went all in, and long story short, did pretty well, helped out my grandma, and now I'm back here for round two, getting ready for the next bull market. And my goal in this life is to not only get into this new technological space, but also to help as many people along the way. So thank you, man.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I think that's key what you hit on, helping people along the way. I think this whole space, there's a tendency for people to think of crypto as a PvP environment, player versus player, it doesn't matter. But that's just a small-sided thinking. Those that are really integrated into the space believe, collaboration is key for this ecosystem to grow. And not only that, that helps people. So, as touching into the numerology, I'm a 33, as you are aware, and that's all I'm about, teaching and educating, and inspiring people. And so it's awesome that you helped your grandma out and you're ready for this round two. And I think this is going to be the biggest blow off that we have personally. I don't know. I think you agree too, but in the numerology world, this is a universal 8 year. And an 8 year is all about money. And it's all about, wealth creation, and cryptocurrency is that one asset that is open to the world, unlike, traditional VC funds where you have to be an accredited investor, and, certain deal flow just doesn't come to the normal person. So that's what I love about crypto. It's just all about being able to give equal opportunity. And so, yeah, it's I feel blessed that we're, kind of in this.
Absolutely. And crypto is a very interesting, era for not only like our species, but for how technology is advancing. Because not only will this set us up for the next financial system, but there's other things being built on top of it. You got stuff from AI to businesses, and there's so much to unpack here. And I couldn't agree with you more. This is going to be a really big bull market, and this is a potential for anybody that's in to absolutely crush it and absolutely win, but also get ahead of the curve especially when we start to see new things come across. Because I guarantee you, and I'm sure you agree with me on this, from from here going into up until year 2033, we're going to see some very interesting things, and we definitely unpack that. But overall, man, I'm really curious. When did you first get into crypto? I want to ask you that question.
I bought my first Bitcoin in the literally the top of 2013. I remember I was, just watching CNBC. I was retail. I was exit liquidity, bro. Like literally something popped up on CNBC. Oh, Bitcoin's over $1,000. Like I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't even know. And I was like, all right, I'll buy a few. And literally 3 months later, Mt. Gox happened, and literally that value dropped to, like, $200, $300. I was like, "This is a complete scam." I was like, I literally didn't know anything. So I didn't even touch it until 2017, and then my dad actually just randomly told me, he's like, "Hey, do you still own those Bitcoins?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was just like, "It's, like, even higher in price." And then in 2017, I was just like, "Boom, let's go all in." I just started that was before it was such a different time back then. That was like when, the Asian meta, like I remember coins such as like Walton Chain and like just complete scams. And it was just fun. It was unlike anything. I had no idea what to expect. I lost everything. Went up and then right back down, which I think many people did know. And then 2021 came, and then I was like, okay, things are a little bit better, but still, I just dabbled. I didn't really understand too much what was going on, but now I'm fully aware, and I feel like I have a deep understanding of the knowledge of the market. So it's been a wild journey. It's been a lot has changed for the good and the bad. Obviously with anything, but one of the things that I'm actually really excited about is the base ecosystem. And, obviously as a podcast focused on the late night or basically focused on the base ecosystem, I feel there's a lot of value. I kind of wanted to get to know your thoughts on what do you think about base overall? What do you think it potentially can do for onboarding, the normie, quote unquote, the retail? Yeah, overall, what are your thoughts on this ecosystem?
I think base is getting into a huge need within the Ethereum ecosystem because it does tie into everything going on with Ethereum. Right now, Ethereum is slow to implement sharding. It's going to be a little bit of a process. And what's great about layer twos is it provides a way where people can get on to the Ethereum ecosystem, not worry about gas fees, build, innovate, and just basically get into this new DeFi economy. Now, the reason why I specifically like Base is number one, plugs into Ethereum. Number two, they have a new smart wallet launching. Very easy for retail to understand. Number three, Coinbase is really good in the United States. United States, very big economy. That's the main thing that a lot of these projects try to target, and Base has absolutely be dominating. So, in my opinion, everything that Base has been doing has been tailored for the retail investor so that we can onboard new people that have no idea what's going on. And rather than having to jump through these hula hoops that me and you have to do as advanced crypto traders, the average person can get in, understand it very quickly, and get action on the chain. So overall, I think what Jesse Pollock has been doing with Base has been phenomenal. I think Base is going to be the number one layer two in this bull market, and I do see a lot of development going on Base from meme coins to layer three protocols to also new games and also decentralized exchanges. It has it all. So overall, I think the on chain summer is going to be a great time. And if you're not on base, then I gotta ask you a question: what are you doing with your life? So
I think that's perfectly said, actually. I think that's perfectly said, and I think a big opportunity exists on those participating on the base ecosystem. So, up until maybe a couple months ago, I didn't really pay attention too much on base, I'll be honest. I know it was another, layer 2, but, like, I first heard about it last year when it, started to pop. But to me, it was just like any other channel, like, who's gonna use it? But then this February, March timeframe came, and I just saw the amount of volume coming in. And I do have to give a lot of credit to Jesse Pollock and the team to kind of like putting into the spotlight. And it made me realize, wow, not only is this superior, to my opinion, to Ethereum, because who wants to pay, as the bull market approaches and continues, you're going to start seeing transactions like in 2021, transactions were like $200 plus. Retail is not going to, if someone who's going to just pay $1,000 for a trade does not want to give up 20% in gas. Not only that, you have all these, front run bots, MEVs, and if a failed transaction, you literally just burn money.
right.
So seeing what Base was doing and seeing the volume that it was getting, such as Brett and, all those coins, I was just like, "This is what crypto is about. This is BSC version 2021, but on Base." And it just clicked. Is like there's a huge opportunity for people to explore the ecosystem. The fees are basically non-existent for a trade. And it's just fun. And there's just like a tight-knit community that's growing and forming. And I think you're right. I think the ability to have their own wallet and to, with the click of a button. So like your grandma, your grandpa, my father, they're not gonna bridge, bro. They're not gonna learn how to use Orbiter, and getting from one EVM chain to the next. Like they're gonna be like, "What is this?" Like, forget it. But if you give them an on-ramp where they just click a button and they can buy in their wallet, it's a game changer. And I think Base is gonna be huge. I think Base is going to onboard more people than any other chain. So I'm excited to see kind of, what goes down. Let me ask you this, what are some of your favorite projects on Base at the moment?
Favorite projects, I absolutely love what's going on with Brett. It's showing that meme coins are absolutely ripping. Another project that I do like, but there is problems with it is Degen Chain. Degen Chain was one of the first layer threes that brought in like this meme coin space, and it's and for those guys who don't know, a layer three is basically like a layer two to a layer two. And so the idea is, with a lot of these projects, rather than you go and set up your own layer one blockchain, you can actually come onto a layer two and set up a layer three and develop what it is, whatever you want, whether it's meme coins, games, just anything. So that's one of my other favorite ones. Big fan of BTFD. Shout out to BTFD.
The sponsor of
Um,
the show, everyone, it stands for "Buy the effing dip."
yes,
Shout out
sir.
to them.
And another one I really like is Benny. Benny, which is I believe it's Jesse Pollock's dog. Don't take my word for it. I can't
I
remember.
think it is. No, I believe it is.
Yeah. So I really like the meme coin space and the meme coins behind base layer two because what really clicked with me with meme coins is it's a reflection of culture. And as most of you guys know, politics is always downstream of culture. So the reason why base has been exploding is because people are getting into these types of projects. If you try to get a new retail investor to come in and say, hey, there's this new decentralized exchange that does autonomous swaps that has an AI audit so that you won't get any rug pull. They're gonna be like, bro, what are you talking about? You're speaking a different language to me. Or you'd be like, hey, there's this dog called Benny, or hey, there's this alien coin called BTFD. It's pretty cool. You can buy the freaking dip, and it clicks. It clicks. So
Absolutely.
those are some of my favorite projects. What about you, man? What projects you like? I'm
You
curious. I need
know
some alpha.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think, I think you nailed the nail on the head with the whole meme coin culture too, especially, like, retail does not care about, autonomous swaps or, like, decentralized anything. It is foreign language, but they do want something that they can rally behind. So for me, personally, I'm not in it, but obviously you can't like meme coins and not choose Brett, right? Brett has the market share, the attention, and what's good for them is good for the entire sector. So even if you're not participating in that ecosystem, you should all be rooting for Brett because it brings in eyes. Retail is going to see these things like, oh my God, this is almost a $2 billion coin. What is this? And then they start going down the web and being like, wow, there's just so many cool coins I can be a part of. So I like Brett, even though I'm not in it. Obviously, BTFD, clearly they're sponsor of the show, and I'm a big proponent of that. I just think it's a fun little project. So one of the ones that I do like is Beast. It's kind of fairly new. It's been about maybe 2 weeks, but that's kind of like the Mr. Beast fan token. And I've scooped that one out a bit, and I've started going heavy in that one. And the reason why is it's simple. If Beast is promoting, Coinbase, just by that affiliation, it's going to explode. And Coinbase actually only follows 30 people, and Mr. Beast is one of them recently. So that's the speculation. Obviously, with meme coins, it's all about speculation and like just the community vibe. And so the vibe's good there. A few others. I never got into Benny, but I do see when Dog Meta comes, that should do really, really well. We have the Weirdo team coming up actually on the pod next week, and I've gotten to kind of scope them out. I'm very impressed. That podcast will be good. And for those tuning into this one, make sure to check that one out. The art is really, really fire. And then one other one that I do like is KeyCat. You know that one?
Yes, I briefly saw it, but never dove
Bro,
into it.
it's a cat that's basically on a keyboard. That's all it it's all it is. All it is. It's fire though, man. It's a cute cat. One of the things I've learned in the space, which I'm pretty sure you're aware of, is like there's always different sectors that move. And that also applies to the meme sector. So obviously in crypto, sometimes it's DeFi that runs, sometimes it's AI. This cycle it's AI, right? AI. Last cycle is gaming metaverse. So in the meme sector, those will run, but within the memes, those will run too. So sometimes there's dog meta, sometimes there's cat meta. So I think it's important to kind of like branch out to different memes that have different sectors that you like.
Absolutely. And just one more thing I wanted to add to you because you really hit the nail on the head with memes and bring people on. This is the bull market where we're going to see some big institutional finance get into meme coins. Now, when I was doing some research and talking with some people, typically, if you have like a 1 million to $10 million market cap meme coin, an institution's not going to touch that. But they're more likely to touch something in the billions range because it's going to be a stable price and it's considered a non high risk asset. And so, what's going to be interesting is now that we have the rollout of the ETF with Ethereum and Bitcoin, some things I'm predicting, we'll probably see something with Solana ETF. We'll see like a layer two ETF when base decides to launch. Not speculate. I'm not sure when it's going to happen. I have no inside information. But the key is we are going to see a meme coin ETF where we're going to see some of these popular meme coins that are on different chains all bundle up so that institutional investors can get into. So the next question is, does Brett have the sauce to be in this ETF? And that's a hypothetical question, and it's what the audience thinks, and it's what you guys think. I personally think so, but that's something to keep in mind, especially with narratives and stuff going on in the market. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think there's a risk appetite. I think, VCs do want to get in. They've seen this is a VC driven, I mean, a meme driven cycle. And I think it would be foolish for them not to have exposure. And of course, they have to obviously run the risks and rewards. So they're not going to ape a degen ape like a 50 million, $10 million project. They have to go for something in the billions, obviously for optics as well, too. You can't just be like, hey, I used the money to invest in literally the most speculative thing ever. So I think you hit the nail on the head. I could see a fund being created like that. I think it's going to do very well, especially with the fees. I think people who aren't deep in will be like, all right, if it's trusted by these guys, we're going to go in. So I think there is massive opportunity. I think also whatever coin ends up getting listed on like Robinhood, not financial advice, I think will just massively explode. I think they haven't really added anything new. And so I think it reminds me of 2021 when like Shib was on there. I faded, these memes back then. Shouldn't have, hindsight. But I think that's the opportunity. Always look around for that. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. And I think, I don't know, personally, and this ties into maybe then the astrology, numerology, which I want to touch on briefly before we end things. I think institutions know that the bull run's here. I think institutions know the ability to capitalize on appreciating assets in not only the digital asset space, but in the stock market and stuff. The time's now. This time is going to be shortening and it's not going to last forever. So let me ask you this. When do you think, and we'll touch on this. So for those that like numerology and astrology, you definitely want to stay into this one. So Chris, when do you predict, or what, not predict, but like your thoughts, when do you think the market is going to start taking a downturn?
Downturn, I could probably see the earliest at the beginning of next year, right around the January, February time. And then once the blood moon in 2025 comes around, I do think that's when we're going to see the complete end of the bull market. Some things to highlight. This is 2024. You mentioned at the beginning, it's an 8 year. We're in the year of the dragon. And this has a lot to do with currency resets. And currency resets typically happen in the year of the dragon. So, how I see this formula happening is we're going to see a huge crypto boom. And then once we get into 2025, which is a 9 year, nine signaling completion and the end of a cycle, that's when we're going to see the end of the bull markets and possibly the speculative side of cryptocurrency. So those are my thoughts, and I'm curious, what were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm aligned with you. privately have stated, actually, even on my Twitter publicly, I have stated, I believe by March 2025, the market's done. The bull run's done. I think, typically for a few reasons. Typically, after the halving, typically runs 12 to 18 months, the bull market. So that would put it around the 12, a little less than 12 months around March. But like, history doesn't often repeat itself, but I think too many people speculating it's going to take 18 months. Not everyone can win. That's just how crypto is. Not everyone can win. If everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to be in this market till 2025, late 2025, then I'll leave. I think you're going to get front run. I also think there's a saying that many people may not be aware, when it comes to astrology, millionaires don't care about astrology. You know who does? Billionaires.
Billionaires. Yep.
Exactly. And I do believe the markets are kind of running on that. And so, as you said, Dragon Year, this year is a Dragon Year, 2024, Universal 8 year. I knew last year this was the year that's going to go. And so far, everything's taking off. So we have, I believe this cycle, and again, I could be completely wrong, but I think this cycle is mimicking 2017, very similar. I think there's going to be a massive blow off at the end of the year, and everything's leading up to that. But then by March, yeah, Google the blood moon. For those that don't know, Google what a blood moon is. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it signifies, impending doom. So the last blood moon was 2022. A day later, look up what happened around the November blood moon of 2022. For those that aren't aware, that's when SBF went down. That's when, the market just like collapsed in that regard. And I don't think it's coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that was purposely timed to take down Alameda and all those people's FTX. So I'm personally playing like that. I think, and then yeah, I think 2025 is also, it's a 9 year, and it's also going to be the year of the snake. And for those that follow what's going on in world events, we won't get too political, but typically in war narrative years, snake years aren't good. If you look at World War II in 1940, actually 1939, World War II, the conflict started regionally. And that was year of the rabbit or cat, whatever you like to call. 1940 was the dragon year. Still regional conflicts. USA didn't get involved, nothing. 1941 was year of the snake. And that is when the US got attacked by Pearl Harbor, and they were drawn into World War II and officially. So, I mean, again, we'll see what happens, but it wouldn't surprise me if something like that happens next year in 2025. So, if that happens, I don't think people are going to be aping into any of these random speculative coins. They're going to be more concerned with you know just taking care of their families. But
Absolutely.
yeah. So, Chris, any last final thoughts that you want to give to the audience about anything particular about your show, or your groups, or just anything in general?
Oh, just last thoughts. Guys, please like, follow Late Night on Base. Check out BTFD. Support my boy, Bill the Bull. And also, if you guys want to come check us out over the verse at the verse 369, we get into a lot of cool projects, talk about what's going on in the market, and then you can also follow us at the verse on YouTube. And the last thing I want to say, guys, this is going to be a great year. I want everybody to win, but please keep in mind all this is going to come to an end very soon, just like Bill the Bull laid out for you guys perfectly. And there's nothing wrong with being the black sheep in the crowd, because typically those are the ones who win. And as the market starts getting crazy, you're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. People are going to say, oh, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. But have some self control, have a plan, get out of the markets, and don't be the last one to hold the bag. Shout out to all you guys, and keep up the great work, and come check us out.
Bro, well said, Chris. Awesome to have you on. And of course, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, we're going to have all the links down in the description. We'll make sure to put on all your socials, Chris. And obviously, follow our socials as well. If you're listening to this on one of the streaming sites such as Spotify or Pandora or Apple Music, obviously, you won't be able to see the links, but come check us out on Twitter or on YouTube, and you'll see all the links below. Chris, I appreciate your time, man. And dude, good connecting with you. And we'll kill and crush this bull run together.